Welcome to the world of peaceful parenting. I'm Natalie Byers, and in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about ways to make it easier to say no to your kid. Saying no is a big part of our job as a parent. It's not realistic to say yes all the time. It's an important part of life to learn that we need to that like receiving no and accepting no is a skill. Other people have their own sense of agency. We may want something from someone and they need to have the ability to say no. So kids need to learn how to receive a no. There's no way around it. That being said, a big mistake I see a lot of parents making is getting more forceful or angry or irritated with their no's, bringing in this like kind of emotional weight and power when they're saying no, this because I said so energy. And that doesn't only shut your kid down and leave them feeling alone with their sense of disappointment or letdown, but it also like raises your cortisol, your angsty energy in your body, and you get all irritated and you lose your peace. So this video is dedicated to some creative ways that I use to give a no that is easier to receive as a kid. My number one favorite tool is giving it to them in fantasy. Everyone's familiar with the grocery store scenario, or even easier, the Target toy store scenario, where we wheel past something and kids are going to ask for things, and obviously most of us are not going to be able to say yes to all of the things, and we may be in a space where we want to say no to all the things. It's totally appropriate for a trip to the store to not include something that is bought for the kid. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, totally balanced and appropriate. That being said, we all get to make our own decisions about the kind of standard that we want to set, the kind of expectation we want to set for our kids. And then we want to be consistent about that. So my son will ask me for, a new toy or something like that out at the store. And the way that I give it to him in fantasy is I respond by saying, "Oh man, I so wish I could give you that toy. I wish I could give you that toy and that toy and that toy and that toy. If I could, I would buy all of these toys for you and give them to you and put them in your room. We wouldn't even have room for all of those toys, would we?" And I go spiraling off into, whatever playful place, thinking about having all the toys, or, really you can take it in any direction, any scenario. What saying no with fantasy does is it expresses like, I wish I could give it to you. I love you enough that I would give it to you if I could. And it's a playful way of saying, I can't always say yes. I'm not able to. That's not reasonable. I would if I could, but we're bound by what's reasonable in our day-to-day lives. So taking it into the realm of playful and what's possible. Kids will get distracted from their own desire. They'll step into the play with you, and that shift and that ease creates an easier opportunity for them to accept a no. Another thing that I do consistently is I go out of my way to name the feelings that I see happening, and to empathize with where they're coming from, empathize with their desire. So, my son wants that toy. Yeah, buddy, that toy is so cool. I totally understand why you're excited about it and why you want it. I want that toy for you too. I'm not able to get it for you today, but maybe sometime in the future. We'll have to lock that toy away. just letting him know it's not possible at the moment, but I'm not saying no because I don't see your desire. I understand your desire. Your desire is reasonable. Your desire is valid. And if he experiences a sense of disappointment or letdown in the face of my no, I also name that. I totally get it, buddy, if you're feeling disappointed about me having to say no in this scenario. I totally see why, you want this. And if you're feeling like you want it so bad, of course you feel a bit let down that I needed to say no. I totally get it. I see you. I love you. When he hears me say those things out loud to him, it's literally like a soothing balm to his system. He goes, she gets it. She sees me. She understands me. Now I understand where she's coming from. Sometimes I will go a little bit into the explanation of why it's important for me to say no sometimes. And I will explain to him that we just don't get to we don't get to have all the things right away that we want in life. That's not a reasonable expectation. And part of our job as parents is to teach our kids patience and a sense of delayed gratification, so they know how to wait, they know how to prepare for the things that they want, and they also know how to name their desires and call them in as well. My last note on this, in this particular video, I will have other videos that touch on this more from different angles. But my last note on this one is to be consistent with your no's. Whatever you decide, your like grocery store standard is, some people decide if my kid goes to the grocery store, they get to have one small thing that gets to be their choice, or they get to ask for something and I'm going to say yes to one thing. Some people, like myself, I don't have a standard that is even at that. I have taught my son that there are going to be times when we're going to the grocery store and we are only getting the things that are on my list. That's all we have capacity for today. And that's okay. I'm the adult and I'm making these decisions and I understand all of the things that go into these decisions. And he's the kid and he doesn't make these decisions yet. At the same time, I try to give him some independence and some freedom and some understanding of these things by giving him some of his own money and letting him play with that and letting him buy a little something here and there and kind of letting him understand a bit of the exchange that's going on there. That's a whole different side topic. When you are saying no to particular things, you want to stick to what you've decided is a no, because the moment you allow a kid to convert your no to a yes through their behavior, through their, pushback, what have you, you are now dealing with a situation where you are going to have to double down on what it is that you are, on the standard that you're trying to set, many times to bring it back to a place where they will listen. Because what kids are doing is they are consistent. They're like little velociraptors. They are consistently testing the boundaries, like the velociraptors in Jurassic Park testing the fences on their on their enclosure, right? They're constantly testing where the boundaries are to see which ones are weak, which ones can be bent, which ones are, feel real solid, and which ones, have some wiggle room, because they're looking for where their independence lies, where their agency lies, where their freedom lies. And it's natural for them to test boundaries. So if you don't want to be doing a ton of work enforcing your boundaries all of the time, you need to get clear on what they are, and then you need to remain consistent. And that will minimize the amount of arguments that you find yourself in with your kids, because they will know what to expect from you, and they will understand that when you do say no, you mean no, and you won't be shifting from that no. That is the energy that you want to create with them. You want to make them feel heard and seen while giving a no, but you also want to let them know that your word is what it is, that you try to say yes in as many ways and as many opportunities as possible. And when you need to say no, that is your no. So I'm feeling complete there on this little topic. Thank you for listening. I'll be back with more in the next video.